Hello, lovers of English. How are we doing today? It's a pleasure to see all of you, no matter the time of the day, the month, the year that you might come through my video. It's a pleasure to see you. And I am Teacher Bernice. Teacher Bernice, okay? And I'm here to help you gain confidence, gain fluency in English, especially for those of you whom English is not your first language. If English is not your first language and you have a desire to improve your skills, to build your skills, then I must tell you that you are in the right place. Okay, let's get started.
Finding courage.
Now, the first thing I want us to study in this lesson of today is will and be going to. Of course, we're looking at the future forms. Do you ever get to talk about the future? Of course, whether you know how to speak English or you don't know how to speak English, but I think everybody tries to talk about the future in one way or the other. And now, when you talk about the future, there are so many ways to do so. There are so many ways to talk about the future. And the most prominent is will and be going to. Now, when do I use will and when do I use be going to? Both of them are future forms, okay? And both of them are used to talk about decisions and predictions. We use, when you want to talk about a decision, you use will, or you can use be going to. When you want to talk about predictions, you use will or be going to. So they are similar, very similar. However, when we talk about will and be going to, we are looking at future forms. And I have said that both of them are used for decisions and predictions. Let's start with decisions. If I want to make a decision, when do I use will and when do I use be going to? If it's an instant decision, for instant decision, we use will. What's an instant decision? An instant decision is a decision that we make at the moment of speaking. A decision that wasn't planned. A decision that, like I said, we just made the decision a couple of minutes or while the conversation is ongoing. If you're having a conversation with someone and the person tells you, oh, I feel cold, and you say, don't worry, I will turn on the heating system. I'll turn on the heater. It's an instant decision. Before that conversation, you didn't have that in mind. You didn't have that in mind. And let's take a different example. Someone tells you, oh, sugar is finished. So we are preparing dinner, and then someone realizes that the sugar is we no longer have sugar, and you tell them, oh, I'll get some right away. It's an instant decision. For instant decisions, we use will. Now, for a decision that was taken before a conversation, we use be going to. What am I saying? For a decision that was planned, for something that you already planned, or you had an intention of doing it, we don't use will, you use be going to. For example, I'm going to visit my parents this weekend. It's an intention. Talk about intentions, we use be going to. I'm going to travel this summer. It's summer, right? I'm going to travel this summer because I have that intention. It's a plan. We use be going to. Okay, moving over, we're going to look at predictions. To talk about predictions, we use will and be going to. But they have a difference. When I tell you that Spain will win the match, Spain will win the FIFA World Cup for 2026. That's what I think. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that Spain will win, of course, but it's an example. Spain will win the FIFA World Cup 2026. It's what I think. When I say that he will win the presidential elections, that's what I think. For what you think will happen, we use will. He will be a good doctor. That's what I think. That's my impression about him in the future. Now, when do I use be going to talk about predictions? When I have present evidence. When you have present evidence, we use be going to. To talk about predictions, of course, about the future, we use be going to when we have present evidence. For example, I can tell you, oh, be careful. We're going to have an accident. Don't drive like a crazy person. We're going to have an accident. Why? Because the person at that moment is not driving carefully. The person is driving in an awkward manner. So that is the evidence. And I'll tell them, be careful, we're going to have an accident. Or I'll tell you, the doctor said that I'm going to have a baby girl. Hey! The doctor said I'm going to have a baby girl. Why did I use going to, not will? That's simply because the doctor did a test, probably the echography or some other examinations, and he has the evidence that I'm going to have a baby girl. When you have the evidence, for example, again, if the weather is cloudy, you're going to say that, look at the weather. It's going to rain. I have the evidence. When you have the evidence for something that will happen soon, we use going to. Look at the statistics. He is going to win the elections. He's going to win the elections because as per the current statistics, he's doing much better than the others. So based on those statistics, we will say that he's going to win the elections. Do you get that? Have you understood the difference between the two?
No need for complicated phrases, lost